a joy to be here, to be with so many good friends, and I thank all my family for coming. Debbie, a good friend, part of our youth experience when my children were growing up in the church and going to youth group and everything, so thank you for coming. Y'all see Larry. Do y'all know Larry Stamper back there in the back? Do I have to introduce Larry to anybody around this area? My good Larry, pastor of First Church Burbank, help me, 30? 33? What, I mean? 32. 32 years, everybody. So you don't think Methodist ministers stay very long, huh? 32 years. I had to see Larry out at conference time, and he says, I said, Larry, you think they'll move you this year? He says, if they do, I'm retiring. Okay? But they loved him there. That's why he stayed, and he was a great pastor and kept that church so strong. Of course, he served on the city council. You were the mayor. You had your rotation as mayor, and so he really served his community well. God bless you, Larry. If I get a little thing, you're ready to take over today. Thank you for being here. It's a privilege to have you. There's Pam. Of course, yeah, I've talked to Jane. Yeah, Jane is, of course.
And I didn't know that Bob went to church when he was a little boy. He lived right here on Whipple.
You did, Bob. Right here on Whipple. Wow. That's 1950. 1950. Wow. That's terrific. That's terrific. I didn't know that. You know, we went through a little bit getting to know each other because I had the privilege of marrying their son, Bob, Colin, rather, to Lena, and that was a privilege. Thank you. Good to see you guys. How many years for you now? 6 years. 6 years ago.
Today.
Today. It's today, folks. Their anniversary is today. Happy anniversary to you. Happy Colin and Lena. Happy anniversary to you. That's wonderful. And there's another couple here I married. You know, his name was Robert Gentino. His wife is Tina. And yeah, right here, right in front. Now, they're old Hollywood church folks, okay? And so that's where I met Robert. He's an attorney, and I think I've heard out of his mouth many times, oh, I'm not getting married because I've seen too many marriages not do so well in my business. And by George, he found the right woman. Tina, God bless you. Thank you for roping him in, okay? This is wonderful. God bless you. Thank you for your support of my ministry. He's on our auxiliary board. In other words, he's our legal eagle when we need him. I can always call Robert, so I appreciate that very much. God bless you. But this church was a wonderful experience for us. So many families. Some families. Say some of the family names.
Of course, the Paisleys. Yeah. The Colsons. The Andersons. Many of you still, because the Andersons they came while we were here.
Eva just died last year.
Not too long ago, yeah.
Yes, not too long.
And the Binghams, do you know the Binghams? Yeah. Gail was our babysitter.
Sure.
And Jane was our babysitter.
Sure.
And who else? Also, Jane's parents were our babysitters. And the Cortines were our babysitters. We traded children. Have the ironing board set up. Now these girls had real curly hair, and they wanted to be surfers. So we would put the hair on the ironing board and wax paper on top of it, and we would iron their hair. And then they come to NYF with straight hair. But by the end of NYF, it was curly again. They could go home and they were safe. Their parents would go. Let's see. We have Myra and Nick Coliani. They lived right next to the parsonage at that time, but they were the first people to greet us. We had a 2.5-year-old and a 6-month-old. And she made sure we came, and it was the day the time changed. So that first Christmas was pretty lonely for us. First time we were ever away from our family back in Tennessee. And she made sure that there were gifts in our car on that Christmas Sunday when we left. That was exciting, but this church was our family. We had the Gyres, who were they were great in Sunday school. Myra was our Sunday school superintendent. And we had Dodie Davidson and Emma Lou Gass, and Miss Gass was alive at that time too. And powerful, powerful Sunday school teachers. They were great with our children. I have this. When Kimball had felt the call to ministry, and we told the church that we were going to have to leave because he didn't have college, we thought, well, if we weren't able to go to seminary until we had college, and so we went back home to Tennessee so our mothers could help us a bit. But they gave us a little box. It was like a little treasure box. And in it were cards and notes. The young people had cards and notes too. And all dollar bills, $86 bills. But this note, I pulled out, it says, "May the joy of this new adventure, a new venture, fill your heart today, and may God grant still more blessings to you along the way. I'll be remembering you in my prayers, that God will guide you and be with you in a very special way. You are a mighty fine couple," and I can hear the way she says that. "You are a mighty fine couple, and I'm sure the Lord will provide your needs while you are preparing to serve Him full time. I hope you and your lovely little family will stay well and happy until we see you as soon as possible. With love, Emmy Lou." Okay, you want to tell some more?
No, that's what you talked about Neva, didn't you? Neva Zuber.
Oh, no, I didn't.
We love Neva. She sang in the choir up here with me because when I came, they asked us if we would, if I would sing in the choir. And I said, I'd love to. I've never sung in the choir. I don't know how to read music. But I'd love to try to sing the choir. And I got to stand between people who were good and could read music. And they asked Pam to teach Sunday school. And then they asked us the most daunting of all questions: will you work with the young people? The youth group. That was so challenging. And we said, well, we're still young people. We were 20 and 22 and 20. And in our church, our home church back in Memphis, we were called older youth. Until you were 25, you were still older youth. And so we thought, well, we're still young people. We can't work with young people, but we said yes, and we did it. And of course, it was a wonderful time. But Neva Zuber in the choir, we were going around one night to introduce ourselves, or something about ourselves, and she said, "My name is Neva Zuber, and what'd she say? I'm not married, not by the will of God, but by the will of man." She was great. I love Neva. She was wonderful. But it was a great joy. So yeah, I love it.